What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCGU University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be going over my Mike Hardiman deck from the Twitch Picks Campus Championship that we did. If you like this profile, make sure you go out to the Campus Championship. We have all of the matches out there inside of their own playlist. Give it a like, check it out, do all the cool YouTube stuff. So with that, let's get into the profile. All right, so Mike Hardiman Tuda. Mike Hardiman is a champion card. This is a real-life person. He won this by winning the 2018 UK National Championship. So big shout-outs to him. If you want this card, you can go out to Jasko's site and get it on redemption, or maybe you can talk to Mike himself. He's on Facebook and so on and so forth. What my profiles do, as opposed to just showing the cards, because you have a UFS Ultra link down in the description down below, is I'm going to be telling you the interactions inside of the deck and kind of explaining why I pieced things together where they are. So what does Mike want to do? Mike wants to do two things. Mike wants to build a ton of foundations inside of his attack turn, inside of his turn, and then he wants to commit his character for a one-time Spirit Bombed plus X equals the number of things that we built. And so I want to build a ton of stuff and then make this thing massive. And so my whole deck is about building and making one really big attack. Let's jump into it. Okay, so to start off, I want to talk about the things that aren't weapons. We've got two different types of attacks that aren't weapons, both of which are incredibly strong. The first one is Power Flip. Power Flip is such a swing card inside of Mike. It says enhance, add all foundations from your staging area, from your card pool to your staging area. And so we can build 4 things and then play a Power Flip, and now whenever I commit on Mike, it's +4/+4. We're probably not going to do it on the Power Flip. We'll do it on the crazy big thing that we're doing next. And so a lot of really good value out of Power Flip. Normally you play 4 inside of a Mike Hardiman deck, but this card does not have the weapon keyword, and all of my cool awesome interaction all has the weapon keyword, and so it needs the weapon keyword, and so we're only playing 3 of it. But this card sometimes can just win it by itself. In addition to that, we're playing double Angle Discus. Angle Discus is a perfect block. We're playing quite a few assets. I think we're playing 6 assets, and it says you can add it back to your hand. It's kind of just a free extra attack, and it's also our only momentum out in the deck. Is a multiple 1. It should be a weapon attack. Excuse me. It should be replaced for a weapon attack, but I thought it performed well enough in the deck to deserve its spot. So that's why it's still here. Up next, we've got arguably one of the best cards in the deck. This card was statted whenever it came to actually playing the game. We've got Deflection Swing. Deflection Swing says enhance, build the top card of your deck face down, and then pick any of your face downs face up. That triggers Mike Hardiman because he doesn't care if it stays built. He just needs it to be built. So on Deflection Swing, all of my stuff is face up. It basically says draw 1 card off of Deflection Swing, and then we get to trigger Mike once for one of his +1/+1s. So this card's super needed, as well as block reversal. Get to copy one of the things, and then give it +X. That's also very good. On to the meat and potatoes. Here is the main way that we are killing people. Exploding Flame Roar. At one point with a double exploding Flame Roar, I think I got to a +9/+9 off of Mike with his add-in, including Exploding Flame Roars. This card lets me potentially build up to 2 cards down. And so if it's just Mike and it's just Exploding Flame Roar and I've not done anything else, I can give this thing +3/+3 if everything triggers. And in addition to the stun 2 that it gives, in addition to the +6 damage. And so this thing hits for pretty much your whole life. Exploding Flame Roar is the MVP of this deck, and anytime that you saw it in your hand, you probably were going to try and kill them that turn. So big shout outs. If you haven't picked up a playset of these, even just for other decks, not just Mike, this card is all over in this week's Campus Championship. The next big card is Bamboo Blind Slice. This is our main defensive piece, and it also does some really cool stuff with Mike Hardiman. It says response card pool, discard a momentum, which this is really my only main momentum out. We have the multiple one on Discus, but it's whatever. After my opponent plays an attack, I can build another card from my card pool down, and then remove that attack from the game. And so discard a momentum, build a card, which is what Mike wants to do, and then remove something. It says that my opponent's not allowed to play reversals on my turn if I had this in the card pool, as well as when I do block reversal, play my weapon combo, stun 2. If they try to play another thing after I've smacked them 2 times, I get to just get rid of some of these cards. So really good stuff with Bamboo Blind Slice. This card is very underrated at the moment, and this card should be all over the place. And then my last attack, Leap of the Loach. Leave the Loach says combo attack. If the attack is blocked, add it to your staging area face down after it resolves. So this card's a little techy. The reason I put it at the end is because I want to talk about it the most. This card is not one of those attacks that you can just auto play everything on it. Because of the combo requirements off of Exploding Flame Roar, sometimes you have to leave your weapon or combo attack or weapon or attack inside your card pool because of Exploding Flame Roar having a combo with 2 cards. We sometimes need to not play the enhance, but if I'm just going for a poke and want to keep playing cards or I haven't seen the Exploding Flame Roar yet, I'll play this and say if they block it, my next one's going to get extra stats. So really, really good stuff. Those are all of the attacks that we're playing. Up next, I want to talk about the assets. And the assets inside of this deck are very, very strong. Normally, whenever people play Mike Hardiman, they want to play something along the lines of Let's Cut Loose, the action 2/6, draw a card, build a foundation down. And we don't actually want to do that. We actually want to just capitalize off of the White House. The White House says if after I build a card in, which I can do off of Mike Hardiman, I get to commit it and draw a card. And then all checks to play actions get -4. This is really, really strong. There was a Punch and Judy deck inside of the inside of this tournament, and as soon as I got the White House out, that deck just turned off. And so there's no actions being played inside the White House. How topical. Next is Shishio. Shishio is one of the most underrated cards inside of the good symbol at the moment, in my opinion, especially in Mike Hardiman. So this card says, after one of my things is blocked, I build it down. And so if I've got both of these guys out, what this says is you block my thing, I will respond with Shishio, build it down, respond with White House to draw a card. I've cleared my progressive, I've drawn an additional card, I've gotten an additional +1/+1 off of Mike. And now, while playable, while committed, I'll start destroying my committed foundations and giving all my stuff +2 damage. Every single one attack, even the flip kick and the other one can get my +2 damage because they were all weapons or stuns. I guess Angel Discus can't, but that's okay. That card's not there to kill anybody. That's not the point of that card. And then my last asset is Omega Sword and Owl Shield. Honestly, I think this card is not very fair. I think this card could potentially be on the chopping block. This card does so much, and the big thing is check a 4. I want to toss things into my discard pile because of a really interesting cheeky play that I have, and you'll see it in just a little bit, of some foundations that I need and want inside of my discard pile. In addition to that, this thing just says +3 damage, so it's extra damage. There's just a ton going on, so real neat stuff. So that's all the attacks. That's all the assets. We're not allowed to play actions because of the White House. And so what I'm going to do now is I've taken the foundations and I've kind of grouped them into what their jobs are, right? And so the first first jobs are, how do I build 1,000,000 cards? I want to be able to commit Mike Hardiman for something that's real thick, real beefy. And so like +2 is nothing. I want +9, like I said. And so not only do I have his enhance, which says enhance, remove a foundation, mill the top 4 cards, pick one of the foundations and build it in, so I can turn a committed foundation to a ready foundation and have gotten +1 trigger off of Mike. I also am playing 4 Buddhist Devotion, which says first form, destroy. Each player can take up to 2 foundations from their hand and put it in their staging area. That counts for Mike. So I'll first form, destroy, and then I'll toss any 2 cards that I want to down. Well, now I've already got +2, +3 on Mike every time that I trigger a Buddhist Devotion. And, I mean, technically, I did just build an additional foundation. I'm probably just going to kill you this turn. Buddhist Devotion is unbelievably powerful, and I think it's one of the a very underrated card just in the meta as in general. This meta, if you want a fast deck, it is okay for you to have a little bit of a setup card like this. This is an okay card for you. Even more building, we're playing Searching for the Knight of Mare. This card says after I play a combo ability, flip, add the top card of my deck to my staging area face down. And so half of my deck are all combos, and they want to combo off of weapon attacks. And so I'll play, and then I'll have 2 of these, flip. Now Mike's up to like 5 or 6. This card was very, very valuable. Up next, we're playing 4 Folktale Storyteller. Mill 3 after I play it, build it down. Really, really good for combos continuing. Really, really good for eating up Breaker, as well as for Funny Valentine. Now you're going, Tam, this card is not very good, and I'm going to tell you, this card is insane in Mike Hardiman. There's not a lot that we want to do with our momentum, so whenever I take it, this card either says that the next card that I'm going to check is a 6, or I'm just going to build it down, clear the Breaker, and then trigger more Mike Hardiman stats. This card is fantastic. In addition to the Breaker 1, yeah, it's got a 3 mid block, which is not very great right now in the meta, but It's a 6 check, and randomly checking a 6 is just good enough to include in your deck. Not to mention the synergy that it has. Up next, we've got Double Honky Tonk Woman. I think this is one of Tam's pet cards. I absolutely love this card. Flip, build something in, committed. I get to use it later. There was a turn where I flipped, built in a Buddhist devotion, and then proceeded to kill them on my next turn just because of Honky Tonk. And without that card, my kill turn just didn't happen. My last, actually, we'll move to this one first. We're playing 4 Burning with Revenge. This card did not need to be in the deck whatsoever. This card could have been 4 of literally anything else. My plan with it was to just play it into my card pool and then build it down, but I never wanted to do that. I never felt like it was a good time to give myself +1 progressive difficulty for +2 damage. That's just not quite good enough in the deck. It should be something else. All right, and then the coolest card in the deck is actually Early Awakening. So Early Awakening is insane with Mike because you are milling 4 every time that you do this. We're milling with Folktale Storyteller. We're milling with a bunch of checks. We're milling, and discarding the top cards of our deck. And I find one of these guys. And then I got the other 3 in my discard pile. So the big play is from here I Mike, and I add 1 in. It's a big surprise now. I enhance and I pop these away. I've now added 4 cards to my staging area, and that's just Mike. That's just early. And so from here, I'll give it +3 speed, 3 speed, 3 speed. So there's 9 speed, and then an additional 4/4 off of Mike. They're not blocking this thing. It's not happening. Or if you need to space it out, here's 3 speed on the next one, 3 speed on the next one, 3 speed on the next one, and you push them in, and you just pop off way late game. This makes your late game viable. And normally Mike Hardiman, he's not viable late game. The next section is called How Do I Kill Them? And it's very simple. Defeating the Tangishima. I said that wrong. Enhance commit your stun or weapon attack is +2 damage. Enhance destroy this attack is +2 damage. Play ball committed. This just said everything that I played, if I needed it to be, is a threat. It's a 2/5/3 mid block. It's not that great. It's got the weapon keyword. That's neat. But I want to kill them, and this card says make everything threatening. In addition to, like, these 2 cards are basically the same card, except for this card builds itself in, this one doesn't. But this one is playable while committed, so I'll give it +3 speed, +4 damage, +X damage. And so this card just turns everything lethal. The other cool thing that I get to do is Confronting Jeddah. So this says +X, as opposed to just +X, or +X, excuse me. And so we take and we double our damage, or honestly, we reduce the damage. There was a Punch and Judy play that didn't get to go off against this tournament because I had a Confronting Jeddah out, and so he just wasn't allowed to Punch and Judy up as much as he could have, just because of this card existing on the board. Useful. The next section is Please Don't Kill Me. We got Double Bakery Poster Girl. It says toss your speed to 0. It's really rad to add one of this in with Mike. I'll have a committed card that I don't care about, a face down or whatever, and then add in a Bakery Poster Girl that says I'm going to block the next thing. Really important to make sure that you stay alive. Double Overly Dramatic just cancels things that want to reduce my speed or damage. There's plenty of stuff in the game that Overly Dramatic can just stop outright because of accidentally affecting speed or damage. And so I think if you're not playing this card, at least a 2 of and everything that you can, you should reevaluate how you value cards. This card is incredibly strong. And then lastly, just 1 Refusing to Let Go. This card is just really good staple under good. Enhance commit, put it back to printed, -2 or +2. There's some times where they reduce your damage and you want to put it back up, and then you can Mike Hardiman it in. Same thing with Bakery Poster Girl. This card's really good to just accidentally sneak cast in with Mike Hardiman. Next, all the ancillary stuff. We're playing Double Passing the Torch. Drawing cards is really good. It's a little anti-discard hate. Wandering Pirate, also very good. Just being able to re-ready stuff, making sure that you can block on your opponent's turn. And then my last card is just Double Sense of Morals. The reason this card is here is twofold. Number 1, it says check a 4 on every single attack, so I get to possibly have my Early Awakenings in the deck. It's the same reason that Owl Shield is so good. And as well as it's just anti-stun hate. Being able to stun, being able to have my board be stunned, and then I Mike Hardiman when I make my Committed Foundations and toss this in. This is really good versus like a Coffee Samba deck. The Coffee Samba deck played, and he stunned my Refusing to Let Go, and so now I just got to print it -2 all of his attacks. Pretty solid. All right, so that was Mike Hardiman 2 Dot. Big shout outs to him for winning this awesome character. If you like the profile, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. I'd love to hear them and compare some notes. And if you want to see the deck in action, like I said at the top, make sure you go out to the Twitch Picks Campus Championship that we recorded. The playlist will be out here on the channel. And if you want to go out and support us, go out to patreon.com/TCGU University. Anything at all helps keep the lights on and keeps us making awesome content. So from all of us here at TCGU, thank you very much for watching, and stay learned.